There's a bottle in your kitchen right now that a huge chunk of the internet has decided is trying to kill you. Not the bleach under the sink, not the knife drawer, the cooking oil. Specifically, seed oils, canola, sunflower, soybean, the cheap golden stuff that's in genuinely almost everything you eat. One half of the internet is certain these are industrial poison quietly wrecking your health. The other half is out here going, respectfully, it's oil, please calm down. So, who's right? By the end of this, you'll know exactly how worried to be and more usefully what this argument is actually about, because it's not what most people think. No cap. Let's get the facts on the table first because this topic runs almost entirely on vibes. Seed oils are oils squeezed from seeds, sunflower, rapeseed, soy, corn, usually through a heavy industrial process involving pressing, high heat, and chemical solvents. They took over the 20th century for three deeply boring reasons: cheap, shelf-stable, neutral taste. The main health worry is that they're high in a fat called omega-6. And here's the nuance nobody screaming about this online ever includes: omega-6 isn't the devil, your body needs some. The concern is that modern diets are drowning in it because it's hidden inside nearly all processed and fried food, and some researchers think that imbalance drives low-grade inflammation. Keep one word in mind: processed, because it's about to become the entire plot. Quick definition, because it's the crux of everything. Ultra-processed doesn't just mean cooked or packaged. It means food that's been industrially reassembled from cheap components, refined starches, sugars, cheap fats, and a lab's worth of additives into something engineered to be hyper-tasty and genuinely hard to stop eating. Seed oils are a common ingredient in that stuff, but so are refined sugar and refined flour, which raises the obvious question: if the oil always travels in the same car as the sugar and the flour, how do we actually know which passenger is causing the crash? That's the entire scientific headache in one sentence, and it's exactly why honest researchers are far more cautious than confident influencers. So, the case against from Team Anti-Oil. 1. These are highly processed industrial oils that barely existed in the human diet a couple of centuries ago, and now they're everywhere. 2. They're the backbone of ultra-processed food. The crisps, the fried takeaways, the packet snacks, and that entire category is genuinely making a lot of people unwell. 3. The omega-6 overload is wildly out of balance with omega-3, and some believe that lopsided ratio quietly promotes inflammation throughout the body. And 4. The one you can't wave away. Huge numbers of people report that when they cut seed oils, they feel better, drop weight, and have more energy. That's a lot of real human experience to dismiss as coincidence. But their strongest point is actually sneaky, and it's a lifestyle one. When someone cuts seed oils, they almost never just swap one oil for another and change nothing else. What actually happens is they stop eating the food the oil lives inside. No more daily fried takeaways, no more absent-minded packet snacks, suddenly a lot more home cooking with real ingredients. So, of course, they feel better. And Team Anti-Oil can fairly say, whether or not the molecule itself is the villain avoid seed oils is a simple rule that accidentally steers you away from a mountain of junk. As blunt advice for an overwhelmed person in a supermarket, if it's deep-fried in cheap oil, maybe don't, is honestly not bad. Now, the other side. Team It's Fine the food scientists, sighing into their lab coats. 1. Seed oils are not uniquely specially toxic. The strong claims that they directly cause disease in normal cooking amounts are not well supported. A lot of it is theory and lab studies with extreme doses not proof in real free-living humans. 2. The omega-6 inflammation story is far more contested than the internet lets on. Plenty of studies just don't find the dramatic effect when they go looking for it. 3. The cheeky one. A lot of the people telling you to bin the seed oils and cook everything in butter and beef tallow instead are running on nostalgia, not data. My grandma used lard and lived to 90 is a lovely story, but respectfully, it's an anecdote in a trench coat, not a clinical trial. And the omega-6 ratio argument deserves a fair hearing, because it's the most science-flavored claim on the anti-side. The theory goes like this. Our ancestors ate roughly balanced amounts of omega-6 and omega-3, And modern diets have tilted massively toward omega-6, mostly from these oils, and that tilt might nudge the body toward inflammation. It's a plausible, tidy story. The catch is that when researchers actually test whether cutting omega-6 improves health outcomes in real people, the results are surprisingly underwhelming and inconsistent. So it's not a crazy idea. It's just not the slam dunk a confident graphic on your feed makes it look like. Plausible but unproven doesn't trend well, which is exactly why you rarely hear it said out loud. And here's Team It's Fine's knockout. When someone feels incredible after quitting seed oils, look hard at what else changed at the same time. They almost always cut chips, takeaways, packet snacks, and mystery fried food all at once. It's like insisting you got fit because you bought new trainers while ignoring that you also started running 5 miles a day. The trainers were innocent this whole time. So the science crowd argues the oil is mostly a scapegoat, a single satisfying villain for a problem that's really about eating a ton of ultra-processed food. And by dramatically blaming the innocent molecule, you let the real culprit, the whole deep-fried packaged lifestyle, stroll out the back door completely unnoticed. Let's speed-run the myths, because this topic is stuffed with them. Seed oils are basically engine oil. They share a vibe on social media, and nothing else. That comparison is pure theater. They're toxic, even in tiny home cooking amounts. The scary claims are about extreme lab doses, not a splash in your stir-fry. Butter and tallow are automatically the healthy heroes. They've got their own downsides. Swapping one fat for another isn't a cheat code, and ancestral is not a nutrition label. And cutting seed oils cured me maybe, but you almost certainly cut a mountain of junk food at the same time, and that's the part doing the heavy lifting. So here's the boring, unsellable truth. The problem was never the innocent oil sitting quietly in a bottle. It's the food the oil lives inside. Deep-fried, ultra-processed everything is bad news, whether it was cooked in canola sunflower or the tears of your ancestors. A splash of seed oil in a meal you cooked yourself is almost certainly not the thing wrecking your health. But a daily diet built around fried, packaged, ready-made food absolutely might be, and it barely matters which fat it was cooked in. So the anticlimactic fix is this. Cook mostly whole foods, mostly at home, most of the time. Do that and the entire raging seed oil debate quietly, embarrassingly solves itself. If you want one genuinely useful habit out of all this, it's learning to spot ultra-processed food, because that's the actual villain hiding behind the oil. A quick rule of thumb, flip the packet and read the ingredients. If it's a short list of things you'd recognize as food, you're probably fine. If it's a long paragraph of refined starches, syrups, cheap oils, emulsifiers, and flavorings you couldn't buy in a shop, that's the stuff worth eating less of, regardless of which oil is in it. You don't need to memorize chemistry or download an app. Could my granddad recognize this as food? Gets you most of the way there. Focus on that, and the seed oil question mostly answers itself. So practically, don't panic about a bit of seed oil in home cooking. It's not the emergency, the internet says. If you want to cut down, the highest impact move by a mile isn't hunting oil molecules. It's simply eating less ultra-processed and fried food, full stop. For home cooking, olive and avocado oil are excellent all-rounders if you want alternatives, no conspiracy required. And be deeply suspicious of anyone selling you a single magic villain in either direction. So are seed oils poisoning you? Almost certainly not on their own, sitting in a bottle. But the fried packaged food they love to hide inside, that might genuinely be doing the job quietly for years. Blame the meal, not the molecule. So, are you Team Bin the Oil or Team It's Fine? Subscribe to Health You Decide, drop your verdict in the comments, and now we're cooking.